This is firefighters' headquarters. Their muscles are extremely good. They all look like Greek statues. That day, a man came to apply for this job. He keeps his head down. He doesn't seem to want people to know it. The reason's really simple. Just looking at his face. For a second, you can easily know that he's a drug addict. Then you'd conclude that he's definitely not a man for this job. He hadn't asked for the interview yet. They realized that a man's blocking his way. Informing that they're not hiring, he better leaves. He disappointedly bows his head down, saying thank you. He's going to leave, but the captain goes out of his office. He says, "Get in." He takes a seat. The captain gets straight to the point. "When was the last time you used?" He confesses that it was 3 months ago. Then the captain asks him, "What are you doing here?" Flashing back to 4 months ago. The man came to see his girlfriend when being high. He realized that she got pregnant. He asked, "Why don't you tell me?" She said, "I know you won't care about it. You're that kind." He said, "It's part of mine, so I'll be responsible for it." But her answer is unpredictable. "You're not responsible for anything. My family and I have raised it. I want you to stay away." After that, he got drunk in a bar. He was kicked out of the bar. He approached a car. He intends to steal the car owner's property. But he got busted by the polices. He begged his mom to bail him out. She did that, and gave him money. She cruelly said,
"I'll be home at 7. When I get back, I want you gone."
His friend and family turned away from him. When his ex-girlfriend was giving birth, he came to the hospital. He begged the doctor to see his daughter. Afterward he left. Next, he came to the fire station to apply for the job. The captain listened to his story. He decides to give him a chance. But the bearded man doesn't welcome him. They start the training. They steadily run toward. But him, he's out of breath. The captain and his teammates peaked the top of the mountain. They worked out there and started going back down. Now he wearily shows up. A few hours later, the captain talked to 2 teammates. "That boy may not show up again, let's go." At that moment, the man comes back, showing the captain a selfie. It's furthest place by the lake, proving that he finished the training route. The captain said that they'll meet each other at 6 a.m. on Monday. The vice captain gives him a bottle of water. He instantly drinks up all the water in once. That night, he buys some toys in the supermarket, secretly putting it on the doorstep of his ex-girlfriend. He walks away. A drug addict will get a lot of struggles. But he keeps joining the training, sending the child stuffs to the ex-girlfriend as well. Hearing the baby's cry from the inside, he quietly stays for few seconds to listen it. He goes away. He doesn't know that she's opening the curtain and peeking him. When taking part in the training, he made a mistake, so the team was punished by push-ups. The bearded man's very angry and he laughs at him, calling his ex-girlfriend a slut. He insanely pulls the bearded man down. The captain shouts loudly,
"Madonna! Quit on yourself! Go home, die!"
He let the bearded man free. He goes by side and continuously does push-ups, and another teammate talks to the bearded man.
"That was way to line there. I don't mind you sweating the looks, but you don't bring anything to me. You hear me?"
He takes part in his first mission. He's sitting on the helicopter. It doesn't stop shaking. It makes him anxious. He holds his hand tight, looking at the captain to remain calm himself. This is the first time he's seen a terrible fire like that. A deer's running out from the sparse woods. The fire burst that looks like the end of the world has came. On the mountain, the ashes behind him covered a huge part of the sky. He'd seen the town was under the fire. People have to leave their house. Insanely fleeing away, he decides to kindle a fire against the fire. They chop down trees and dig a line, afterward kindling a fire in that line that heads to the woods. That night, they camped on the mountain, watching the flames slowly die. The next day, it burnt out. When patrolling in the woods, a tree suddenly falls down. The man immediately pulled the captain out, saving his life. When getting on the helicopter, the bearded man's blocking his way, considering that where his helmet's buckle. Then they take a tape to tape his head up. Everybody looks at his silly outlook. They can't stop laughing. The bearded man suddenly shows him the lost helmet's bucket and says that, "I think it is yours." That joke proves one thing. Now he becomes an official firefighter, being a part of the whole team. He gets back the city. He hasn't washed his face yet, but came to his ex-girlfriend. In the time, she opens the door. She goes out, carrying their daughter on, a smile on her face. She says thank you, allowing him to hug the daughter. He denies that since he's dirty. The ex-girlfriend says that it's fine. Then let him hug his daughter. He's speechless, then bursting in tears, from when his closest person turned away from him, until he took back his honor. His strength comes from his own responsibility, love, awareness of himself, and the unbroken will. He was just a firefighter. His challenge has just begun. Face against a mountain's burning. It's not over 30 firefighters in the team. How will they do it? Firstly, they chop down the trees. Clearing all things can catch the fire. Digging a line to defend against the fire. Pouring oil and firing it in the line. Then waiting for the fire that they burned up spreads to the fire from the mountain. Then it'll eliminate each other because of running out of fuel. During that process, a lot of fire bullets shot into them. They have to be careful, helping each other. But the critical thing is, the trees were chopped down around that area. Caught fire because of the fire bullets. They used the electric saws and the shovel, even their hands, to put out the fire. Finally, 2 flames met and burned itself out. If you witness it, you'll see an incredible yin-yang picture. They're the real heroes. They're excellent at using fire to control another fire. But not everyone accepts that method. There was a discussion. They intensely argued with the boss. And when a fire rises up, they're digging a line as before. But the helicopter carries water has came, putting out the fire that they burnt up. The trees are wet and non-flammable. Their method is totally useless now. They have to plan again. The man took a command to observe the situation on a peak. The fire's quickly spreading.
We just hit the bridge. I'm gonna make the way back to the station.
He asks for help. But on the other side, when his teammates are going to withdraw, they realizes that the wind direction has changed.
Prepare deployment site right here. Now!
Can't go back up there.
There's no time, Jesse.
Deployment site right here, right now. Let's go. Deployment site, whatever.
Breaking in on Arizona 16, Granite Mountain Hotshots. We are in front of the flaming front.
Granite Mountain, we're gonna bring you the air tanker, okay?
Got it. That's exactly where we want the drop.
Operations Air Attack, you have perfect.
When the rescue team see the flameproof bags, they just claimed 19 death bodies. He was waiting for many hours, until he heard that news. He's flooded in the rage. The ending is, the families of those 19 firefighters come to the morgue. All of them are going through the darkest time. They know none of those firefighters is still alive. However, they knew that only one fireman's alive, so each of them wishes that man is their father, husband, son.
Please tell me if my husband is alive or dead!
Whatever it takes, it's the pains. But they keep remaining their hope. That hope is a torment. Meanwhile, the man's going to the morgue. Everyone tells him that he shouldn't come there. But he determines to get there. He wants to ruin those people's hopes. Because only the desperate feelings can give a chance to stand up again. Nobody can understand how hard to make this decision but God. Holding his hands. Tirely walking. But his attitude's absolutely consistent. He finished his mission. Now it's time to isolate himself with the pain. He walks into the room which consists of his teammates' corpses. He's already dead inside. The captain's wife has noticed his suspicion, so she chases after him. It's true, he fainted to the ground.
Should have been me. Yeah, he was better than me. They were all better than me.
Don't say that. Look at me. Look at me! Don't you dare do this! We can't do that. Do you understand? I'm glad that you're alive.
This movie based on a true story. A document about the firefighters of Granite Mountain. Jun, 2013. When controlling the biggest fire on the mountain in the American history. Most of them are dead. Being firefighter is one of the most dangerous thing in the world. Doing the tasks on the mountain is more dangerous. But they don't fear doing it. Because they know their mission. They respect the connection among the teammates. The more they respect, the more they believe in each other. Who goes hell but me? The firemen, working as their oath of bravely moving toward